Welcome back to day 3 of Cryptids that I'll be drawing for Inktober. Today I have a story for you, and it begins as such. My roommate and I were heading down I-5 South, and we were a few miles before Grants Pass, heading up a relatively steep hill, when I noticed some brilliantly white lights above near the peak of the hill. At first, we only saw 2 bright lights because of our angle of approach, but as we got further up the hill, we could see that there were 3 white lights in a triangular shape, and one was blinking amberish colored light in the center. We kept driving up the hill discussing what it could be, and decided it was definitely not any sort of normal plane because it was totally still and looked to be very large. As we drove underneath it, my roommate put his head out of the window and looked up and said he could barely see the outline of the object, and that it was a triangle with lights in the corners. I couldn't make out the outline because I couldn't stick my head out of the window to look up while I was driving. It was difficult to tell the size of this thing without much reference to it, but just judging how long it took to drive underneath this thing and just our perspective of it, I would say it was maybe the width of a football field or so. My roommate said it must have moved towards the way we came from because we quickly lost sight of it, with the peak of the hill obstructing our view. If we could have turned around at that point on the freeway, we definitely would have. But we were in a bit of a rush, and there wasn't any way to go back the other way for a few miles. I've seen UFOs a couple of times before, but they were single bright lights that move in zigzag patterns. I never quite believed in triangular UFOs before this sighting. Obviously, I believe them now. And as for the judgment call for today's picture, I did my best with 3 hours of drawing. I wanted it to look a little bit more like UFO witness drawings, so it's very simplistic, but I like it. Please give a like and a follow or a comment. Any little engagement helps me. And tune in tomorrow for the next drawing.